If you could give advice to somebody in a job transition, what would you have them look at on the balance sheet to figure out if that company is a viable place to go work at? Meaning, will they have enough cash on hand to keep me around?
So I do this a lot. So for my alumni, I'm a mentor there. So I help students kind of figure out what they want to do with their career. But if you are deciding to go down sales and you're thinking about a company's, I mean, firstly, if you can access the finances, that's great. Some of these companies may be private businesses. And so what you'll want to do is look at their public competitors so that you can get an understanding by proxy. But let's say you do have access to the financial statement. Some of the things that you want to look at. Most people say go to revenue and see if they're growing. That shouldn't be the case. What you want to look at first is what's called their liquidity ratio. Their liquidity ratio basically means when you look at the part of the financial statement called the balance sheet basically tells you the health of the business, right? One aspect of the health of the business. You've got the assets and then you've got the liabilities. And within assets and liabilities, you will have current assets, right? And you will have non-current assets or fixed assets. The liquidity ratio is the ratio between current assets versus the current liabilities. And what that basically means is current assets are things that are cash or will become cash in the next 12 months, right? Or in their financial period. And current liabilities are money that they owe to people, money they've got to pay. Now, if they have more current liabilities than they do current assets, it means that they owe more than they have. So the first thing that you want to look at is, can they run the business? Can they service their debts, right? The second thing is you want to look at the cash statement. And the reason why you want to look at the cash statement is you want to see, are they generating cash, right? You know, cash from operating activities is a really, really important one. Look at the cash from operating activities, and it's a line item. You'll see it right there. If they're generating cash, it means that it means that someone have a healthy business. Then you want to look at their revenue growth, right? Are they growing? And more importantly, are they growing compared to their industry? So you can Google the industry name, whatever industry they're in, and look at industry reports. And what you want to look at is the CAGR, the compound annual growth rate. If a company, so if I was to say to you, company A is growing at 5%, company B is growing at 10%, on its own, it looks like company B is the healthier one. But if I was to say to you, company A is growing at 5%, but the rest of their industry is growing at only 1%, company B is growing at 10%, but the rest of their industry is growing at 20%, all of a sudden that gives you context. Company B doesn't look so hot right now. Have a look at the revenue growth, but also look at the compound annual growth rate of the industry that they're in, because it will tell you if they're a high performer or not in the industry. The next thing is if you're in sales, there's a line item, it's the SG&A, the sales and general administration. You can actually see how much they're investing in sales and marketing. If they're investing a good amount in sales and marketing, it indicates that they believe in sales and marketing and they're willing to invest in it as part of their growth. And that doesn't tell you the whole story, but it does give you an indication, how much they value sales in this company and how much they're willing to invest. On the financial aspect, those are kind of, without drowning you in information, those are kind of the core things that I would look at.